and this might be a controversial question, but what do you see the shift now of the NE10 from when we played to what it is now?
I think, well, now there's more teams have moved, right? So we've seen two teams, all right? Two
St. A's
teams,
just moved today.
No,
yeah, well, yeah,
four, I
two
think
teams moved
it's
up, and then St. A's went down.
Stonehill, Lemoyne,
no.
UNH,
New Haven, and
So
then
three.
and then
St. A's
St.
just
A's is
went
going to
to
D3 in
Yeah,
28.
so three teams moved up and one moved down as of today, right? I think I haven't followed too closely, to be completely honest, but it's definitely shifting. And it's like, for us, when I was at Southern, like, we would always be like almost like the fallback option, which you guys probably experienced too. Like, we would get low end D1 guys that would transfer back and get playing time right away. But that was before the transfer portal changed the way it is now. I mean, this was whatever 5 years ago now. That it's just so much different in the landscape of everything. When I went into the NE10, we had wood bats, so it was a pitcher's dream. And then we would go to regional play. It switched to metal. And then 2 years later, we switched to all metal. So that was like a interesting caveat to playing college baseball that not everybody got. But it's definitely changing, that's for sure.
I think from obviously playing and coaching in the NE10, I think for a lot of people, they don't realize it's not as many transfers as it used to be. Because like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head, right, with the portal. And you got other options now. Like, and we said it on podcast with Jenkins, but if you drop down from 1 to 2, that was your only option. Now you can go 1 to 1 and there's unlimited entries, right? So I think that's kind of shifted how Division II baseball is. That doesn't mean D2 baseball isn't good, and I'm not saying that at all. Like, I'd go to Pierce 10 times out of 10 right now if you told me I could have 4 more years there. But I think the depth of teams has changed a lot. Like, you see Pierce last year, 1 game away from the World Series. You look at their record now, and it's don't have that many transferred. They're 9-23 or 9-24. But then you look at a team like SNU, who obviously has a very good track record, and it's like, all right, they're winning games by 20 runs. So it's like, what are they doing differently to keep up with the recruiting scheme, as maybe Pierce didn't do this year? Or maybe Southern is obviously in the same boat too. But it's, you look at those teams and there's not as many transfers as there once was, and that's just due to the portal. So I don't think it's made Division II baseball worse. I think it's just given younger kids opportunities that maybe 5 and definitely not 10 years ago would have ever happened.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, the kids are going from, like you said, they're going D1 to D1 with the really no restriction anymore. Rather, the only way to be able to continue to play would be transferring down. And it seems like a lot of, like, what I've seen is, like, a lot of guys are either going Division 1 or they're going like high academic Division 3. Like, Division 2 is almost like the middle ground, really. And like, it's interesting how it's kind of changed over time, and how, like, the Division 2 or NE10 still one of the top conferences for Division 2 baseball, especially up here. But yeah, it's interesting how it's began to shift over the last handful of years.
I think the crazy thing too is, like, for me, like, playing at Pierce for the 4 years that I was there and then going to Eastern, it's like I didn't understand what D3 baseball was like, but I feel like ever since the portal kind of took off, it's just made a shift. It's like you said, it's like Division 1, it's the NESCACs, or it's the really good D3s, and it's not many kids think about like D2 baseball anymore.
It's
Even though
almost
they
like
offer
it's
scholarships,
unforgotten. Like, people don't
it's
even
like
think
people
of it.
don't really think of it as a thing anymore. Like, I felt like every kid that I know, like Southern, that was from Connecticut, Southern was recruiting because it's an affordable school. You can give some money to the offset the academics, and it's a state school, right? So like, it's a kind of a no-brainer. Like, I feel like it's just shifted. I just use Southern as an example, but like, there's so many different aspects. Like, when I ask kids about schools, they don't bring up the D2 schools anymore. It's like you said, the good D3s and the high academic D3s, or it's the D1s. And I feel like D2 just gets totally skipped over now because of the inability to just, I wouldn't say it's forcing kids, but you were forced to play Division 2 baseball, like we said. But now you could just do whatever you want. So you don't see any of those super teams like the early Pierce SNU teams of the 2010s when Scotty and King were there. Just, there would be 4 to 5 Division I transfers because that was their only option. Now it's, hey, let me go. Maybe I was a mid-major guy, but let me go play locally at like a Sacred Heart or something like that because, hey, I want to go back home. It used to be you had to go play at a Southern or a New Haven or something like that because of the rules. And I think the rules have totally changed for the good, but it's kind of made D2 baseball not watered down, but like you don't see a lot of kids commit to the D2 baseball that you used to see.